If you can focus on the things you do have control over, right? And your attitude, the stories, making those limiting, stories into empowering stories, having a deliberate plan, checking that plan to make sure you're making progress towards your, the best version of you. If you control the things that you have control over, that's everything. I mean, it really, you can go in, you can tackle those things coming at you and tackle them a whole lot better than if you just kind of turned up.
Don't need you. Tell me what I can and can't do. I'm in charge of what I feel. It's just a game I play for fun, but I already.
Hi, my name is Amie. Like, comment, and subscribe to Lux Media Studios. They are awesome.
Hey everyone, welcome to Loving Your Life, Be Authentically You with me, Amie. I am so excited to have you here today. We have an incredible guest. But first, if you liked the music at the beginning, please go check out my daughter, Truistina, Trueistina. She's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, on everywhere. She's got music videos out. And we were just in the studio creating some new music, which I absolutely love. So I'm so excited to be able to share that with you too very soon. Also, if you are in the need of some happiness, we think happiness comes from the external world. It doesn't. It comes internally. And if you need some help with that, please go check out thetruehappiness.com. I would love to talk to you and see if I could help you with that. As well as if you would like to donate, my GoFundMe will be linked up above, and please feel free. It would really help us out. As you know, I'm a single mom and I have stage 4 cancer. So that would be truly, truly appreciative. But before we get ready, I'm so excited because I want to introduce you to this beautiful woman. Her name is Kim Weiss. She is a dynamic mother of 4, a former NFL cheerleader, co-founder of a unicorn business, and an inspirational sales and motivational coach. With over 20 years of experience in the corporate and fitness industry, Kim is a powerhouse of motivation and expertise. She is also the co-inventor of the ASAP method and the Happy program, which I love, which have empowered countless individuals to overcome obstacles and reach their goals. Kim's journey, marked by her passion for fitness, wellness, and helping others, makes her an invaluable resource for anyone looking to live their best life. So, yay! Hi, Kim.
Hi, Amie. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited for you to be here. I think what you do is incredible, and I want you to share exactly what you do. Because I know there's so much in that bio, but what is it specifically that you
I give a lot of history there too, leading up to it. But yes. I educate and inspire women to be the best version of themselves through through this called Be You, how to become the best version of you. And we have it's currently 12 weekly challenges or focuses. It's all things fitness, wellness, beauty, motivation, all things that you have control over that impact your well-being, your happiness, as you know. And we create a community. So my business partner and we started this program. We launched in January this year. However, we actually we started in January of last year. We had mapped it out, the weeks that we were going to do. And her name's Krista. So Krista and I actually did it a year ago in January. So almost a year and a half ago, just ourselves. And so each week we would meet up just to say, okay, what did you think about goal setting week? Well, I like this. Well, I like this. Maybe, if we added this, I didn't really like this. And then, we moved on to stretching week and okay, just incorporating different ideas. So each week we would meet up and we would add to it. And so that took us, from January until the end of March. And then from there, we made all those changes and we actually wrote a book, which is this big, thick book. And then we had a focus group. Okay. And so the focus group came in and we said, okay, because we really want to build a community around this. And we said, here's our target audience. Our audience are women who, every time we would go to retreats and just be in general conversation, I would hear all these women saying, I'm just Susie and Joey's mom. I've kind of lost my identity. Or, my kids have just left and I don't know what I'm an empty nester now. And I don't know what to do with myself. Like I've lost my identity. Or it would be, I'm 50 and I've just gotten divorced, or I'm 50, I just got a new job, or, so it's all these people wanting something better. They want a community and they wanted something better. So we thought, there's our audience, right? This is probably women in their 50s and older, maybe late 40s. So let's gear it toward them. That's our audience. And so our focus group were women in different age brackets, and they went through, and at the end of the 12 weeks, they gave us so much feedback. And one of the best things was, don't limit it to, don't have an age range. This is like women who are in the 30s who are starting a new career, right? Or starting their first career. So that was one of the things we learned from a lot of people. And, keeping like an exclusive Facebook group or a social media group, just to keep that community going. That's a big thing, to keep people, engaged and inspired, and they can share their stories, right? People want to belong, right? They want to feel included. And so that was a big thing. And so we then incorporated that into the book. And then another piece of feedback we got was, this needs to be bigger than a book. It's a program. And so that really encouraged us to do a lot more thinking. And so in January, we launched. And so it's a program. It's the BU program. And when you sign up, you get the booklet, which is sort of the guide. I call it the guidebook, right? This is what we're doing this week. This is what we're doing the next week. This is the next week, right? So that's the booklet. Then you're invited to an exclusive Facebook group. So that's where you come in and we can chat. We share stories with each other. We motivate each other. We have fun. We remind each other to do things. And that's where we kind of get to know each other. And then each week we have guest speakers, right? So we have experts in different industries, right? On different topics. We had a sleep expert, right? Which was really exciting. We had a makeup artist for makeup week. We had skincare art. We did some stuff with some skincare estheticians. And so that kind of gave us the education we needed. And then you also get one motivation individual session with myself. And so my past in my professional world before this was being a motivation coach for corporations and businesses, generally on client-facing staff, right? So your sales, obviously it was mostly salespeople, but then it became any delivery people in the technology world, right? There was you buy some software and then you have to deliver it. So the people doing the implementation. And so anyone who's client facing, right, or human resources or the marketing team, anyone like that, I would coach them. And sometimes in groups, I think my largest group was, maybe 240 people in one Zoom call, right? This was during COVID. So trying to be impactful and, do those sessions that are interactive. So it was really challenging, but also fun. So that's this program. And we launched in January, and we have today, we went through the first 12 weeks. Now we're starting the next 12 weeks, and we have almost 60 people joined up. So starting, and we're now doing retreats. And so at the end of each time, we're going to do a retreat, just so that you've met the people online, right? So I thought it would be people in New York, people in Los Angeles. That's where I live, and we have 50% of the people are in New York. And so there's more people in New York than LA. And then we have someone from Kentucky, Alabama. They're all over, a big group in Indiana, which is where I'm originally from. And we just had Mrs. Indiana who just signed up. And so now she's doing it because she's going for her, I think Mrs. Universe pageant, or, there's the next level up in Las Vegas in 12 weeks. And she's like, I want this, right? So like, this is like helping her just
Yeah.
think about all of those things that make you the best version of yourself. And so, that's what we do.
Wow. I
Right?
love that.
That's
Yeah.
well, and it's fun. And you know what makes it different is because, as you know, there's a lot of, you and I both know fitness, right? We're both in the fitness community. And I think that's how we got connected. But I've seen a lot of like fitness, a lot of wellness, and even that, and there is the nutrition. The beauty is sometimes not incorporated. And then the motivation seems to be its own thing, right? So I have a motivation company, and they might mention some health and wellness, but putting all those together, I think they're the things women tend to like. They seem to be important to us, right? And then that community aspect. And I think that's what's exciting about what I'm doing, or I want to say, I say I, because I like to take all the credit. But it's me and my business partner. You gotta have some fun somewhere, right?
Exactly.
And one of the fun things that we do different is the motivation is my passion, is motivating people. Hearing people, send me texts, which I'm sure you get as well, right? The texts, the emails of how you've impacted their life in some way. And that is what fuels me. Like, that is the thing that makes me super excited. And one of the things, so you mentioned the ASAP, we call it the ASAP method. That's sort of at the foundation of the program. And that stands for attitude, stories, approach, and progress. And this was something that we came up with that is sort of that underlying method. And it's a method for kind of those things that stop you from being your best self. Right. And so how do you change your attitude, right? How do you get rid of those limiting beliefs, right? And right? We all have them. Everyone
The
has them,
monkey
right?
brain.
For sure, right? And then there's always the reasons why, I don't have time, or my parents were divorced, so therefore and it's like those are all limiting stories, right? And you don't have to have those. And so, and then having a deliberate plan that you write down, right? That your approach, and then having, the progress, measuring the progress. And so, one of the things I thought might be fun today is talking about like the attitude portion. So the A, right? The A is the attitude, right? And how we control our attitude. And it really goes hand in hand with your state management, right? And it's so, what are those things that we can control, right? Like our physical, our mental, and our emotional state. And so I thought it'd be a fun thing for you and I to do is kind of have an interactive chat, if you're
Okay.
game,
I'm
about yeah. So like, and the first thing I always ask people when we start this session, like the coaching session, right, is just like, why is it important to be the best version of yourself? Why does that even matter?
Why is it important?
Yeah.
Because then we're stepping into our authenticity. We're feeling good. Every day is a blessing. We're just feeling on top of the world. I mean, it's just, why do we want to be sad and angry and resentful and all of that? So when
Right.
we step into that, I mean, life is your oyster, literally. I mean, it's so beautiful, no matter what you're going through, no matter.
Correct.
It's that beautiful thing where you're you. And to
Right.
be you is so powerful.
And who does that benefit when you are your best self?
Oh, absolutely. Your family, your children, everyone you're around. I mean, it's contagious. It's energy. It's the energy flow of everybody. People feel it. When
Yeah.
someone isn't, it can drop you down. So having that beautiful energy where you are honestly you, and in that, I call it my love bubble, literally, you just feel so good that it affects everybody around you.
Believing Before Seeing, a new bestseller by Candace Barr. Order your copy today.
For sure. So there's your like, why is it important? Who does it impact? Right. And
Yeah.
so when we look at So what are some things we can control if we're thinking about our attitude, right, and our beliefs? We look at the state management, right, and the physical state, our mental state, and our emotional state, right? So in our physical state, right, some of the things we can control, these are just interactive. So what are some things that you think you can control, like physically, to make you like have this positive outlook?
Smiling.
Smiling. Yep.
Smiling. Even dancing, even just, sitting up straight.
Posture. Yep.
Posture. Yeah, otherwise slouching makes you feel,
Yep,
that.
exactly.
Um,
Facial expressions. Yep. Sitting up,
yeah,
breathing
yes.
can do one. Yet, and there's a million breath. I'm studying breath work right now. I'm getting my yoga teacher training. So I'm studying there just in my yoga teacher training. There's like 8 different breath work. They all have a name, like Ujjayi breath, right? And they all do different things. And it's so fascinating learning that. But breathing can change your state. And I'm not a scientist, but it's like the oxygen going, right? It's the oxygen going in and out, right? Going through your body and all that changes your state. It can give you a little euphoric feeling. And so that can change your state. You can also do a power move, right? If you've been in some motivation seminars, you probably did. Yeah. And I used to do sales for a technology company, and my sales team lead, like I was the relationship person, he was the expert. So we would literally we had a power move. I made him do this, and we would literally be going like up the elevator in some bank, right? And there would be other people in the elevator, and I'd look over and be like, and we would both go like, oh, you know, and we'd be in like business suits. People would kind of, look behind us, and we'd just like, oh, hi, good morning. And we're like, yeah. And then we'd like kind of did our posture, kind of the feet up, right? You kind of do power move, posture, facial expressions, breathing. And then like the doors would open, we'd be like, we're ready, right? Like, let's go do this. And so,
I love that.
so doing that. So those are some things you have control of. And then, your mental state, right? These are like, that's like your mental checklist, right? Like, are you prepared?
Yeah.
And some things you can do there. And I'm going through these kind of fast. These are like hour sessions that we do, right? Some mental things that you can do for mental checklist is make a checklist, right? Have your plan. And I see this in people's professional lives all the time, is they schedule meetings back to back to back, and there's no like breathing room, right? So having good calendar control, or practicing calendar control, practicing gratitude, which, music playlist, exercise, diet, sleep. We have a whole week in the BU program on sleep, getting a good night's sleep, because it's so important to your overall health and wellness. It contributes so much to so many facets of ourself. And, if you have a bad night's sleep, we're doing
done.
this.
You're
We
done
don't have
for.
good patience, it's kind of a core thing. So setting yourself up for success there. And another story with another client that I used to work with is he worked all these hours, and he came home and he had a wife and 2 kids. And what changed his life was practicing these techniques. And he said, I would go home, and as I was driving home, I would return my calls. And I just would, when I got in my driveway, I would stop working. And whether I had to work later that night or whatever, that's fine. But I had set hours, like from 6:30 till 9:30, I'm not working, this family time. So he'd pull in his driveway, and he'd hang up from his calls, and he would walk 2 laps around his house, like around his yard outside. And he was just doing a mental change. And he said, I left work, when I shut the door, I shut work in, and mentally I'd go through and I would start thinking about, okay, like, did my wife had a doctor's appointment today? The kid, Sammy had a soccer game. So, whatever had this. And he would just remind himself to get prepared. And then when he walked through the door, he was like Dad's home. And the kids would come, Daddy. And he'd like, kiss the wife. And he said, it changed my relationship with my family because before, he goes, I never realized until it was called out, till I started doing this. I would walk through the door, I'd be on a call, the kids would be running, I'd be like, shh, and I'd be looking at my wife, like, can you get, I'm on a call. And that's how they would see me. And he's like, that's not the dad I wanted to be. And so by doing 2 laps, right, and just being mentally prepared, changing his state, right, he could go in and it changed his relationship, and then the kids were like so excited to see dad, and it just so impactful. So these are little things you have control over and focusing on those little things, right?
Yeah.
And I have one guy, I have one friend of mine, he's 93 years old, still has his wits about him. And he says because I say to him, I'm like, Bob, you're so happy. You're so, like, what's your secret ingredient? He's like, every day when I wake up on the right side of the daisies, it's going to be the best day of my life.
Love that.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my
I was
God.
like, what a great way to set yourself up, right?
Yes, exactly.
I'm here. Guess what? It's going to be today's the best day.
Best day of my life. It is.
Best day of my life. And I'm like, you're 93. You're right.
Yes.
You've got another day. This is great. Go and do something amazing. And so he does that. And, he still does some volunteer work. He's social. He does all the right things. And so again, it's just that thing about, for me, it's inspiring and educating people, right? Do the things that you have control, focus on the things that you have control over, because, what I always say to people is every day, the stuff you don't have control over is going to make its way in, right? It's going to hit you professionally, personally, this way, that way, from all different directions. And if you can focus on the things you do have control over, right? And your attitude, the stories, making those limiting, stories into empowering stories, having a deliberate plan, checking that plan to make sure you're making progress towards your, the best version of you. If you control the things that you have control over, that's everything. I mean, it really, you can go in, you can tackle those things coming at you and tackle them a whole lot better than if you just kind of turned up, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah, because when you're feeling you and you're feeling empowered, then those other stuff doesn't matter as much.
That's
And
right.
if you come at you and you're like, it's just a day, it's just a story, it's an
Exactly.
event, it's gonna go away.
Today. Sorry, I learned something new today.
Exactly.
Right? Didn't
Exactly.
go my way. That's
Eh,
all right. What can I focus on, right? What
And
can I be happy about?
right. And probably there's a reason and it's going to be better
For
than you
sure.
anticipated.
For
So
sure. For
exactly.
sure.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah. So,
I
and
know.
by doing all these things, right, it's helping, it's to what you do, right? It's living loving your authentic life, right? This is loving it in a lot of, a lot of ways.
Yes, I love this. I think we're running out of time, but I really, really love what you have to offer. And everybody should really go check out Kim. I think this is amazing, the BU. I love it. I
Thank you.
love the fact that so many women need this in their lives and they don't even realize they need it because they are the ones who are just sacrificing themselves so much and draining themselves so much that life
For
will
sure.
end and you won't be where you want to be and you won't have the best life. You won't
Right.
feel it. And why
Right.
not live life in a happy bubble? Why not live
Mhm.
life in your true authenticity in
For
who you
sure.
really are? Instead of
For
letting
sure.
life take you down, you own life. And
For
that's
sure.
just such a beautiful thing you're doing. So I absolutely love that. And I commend you on that.
Thank you.
And like I said, everybody go check out that with the Facebook group and all of that.
Mhm.
Women, you like really, this is amazing. And you can
Thank you.
really change your life one step at a time. So very happy.
Thank you.
Before we go, is there anything else you would want to say to our audience and any socials or anything like that? Please feel free.
Oh, you can check us out. Our website is www.bumotivate.com. You can ask questions. You can sign up for the program there. You can also follow us obviously on social media at BU_motivate.
Okay, perfect. And
Yeah.
is there words of wisdom, Kim, that you want to say something for our audience?
Life is not a dress rehearsal.
Ooh.
Ooh, right?
Good.
Mantra.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah.
Life is not a dress rehearsal. We have
Yeah.
one life to live, everybody.
That's right.
Make it the best.
That's right.
All right, everyone. Well, I hope that you loved this podcast as much as I did. So please go check her out. And I can't wait to see you next week on Loving Your Life, Be Authentically You. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Don't need you. Tell me what I can and can't do. I'm in charge of what I feel. It's